Well, we've got 7 minutes of calm weather. If you have some paint to watch drying, maybe you could watch that. But then maybe not. There goes Rick. A little bit of a puff. James and Helen also doing nicely. Nicely upright, weight right forward. Just clip around the back of him. Nicely avoided. And then we got a little bit stuffed by that Enterprise. She tacked right in front of us. So it put us into a slightly unfavourable position. James kept catching us on starboard. Rick by this time has scampered off a little bit. Well, a little bit. And then we get a puff, which is very lucky. Catch Rick up. So John sitting on the side there. So we've got in the background there, we've got James and Helen and Marion and Alan. If you're wondering about the yellow jerseys, they are awarded to the crew that got to the first mark first in the previous race. We're handing them on next week. We're making our way today up to F as the first mark. That's the theoretical windward mark. Because Rick and John were slightly higher than us, they could reach into the mark a little bit, get a bit of speed, get round there before us. Drifting down towards H, having to beat into it a bit, as you can see with Rick there. And we're just going past Jane and Eleanor in Puff Adder, making their way up to F. James has got a nice line on the side of the shore a little bit, but then ran out of puff. Amazing how it just sort of concertinas, comes and goes. Having to go round the heron here. I've speeded this up a bit just to make it obvious what he's doing, otherwise it was very slow. Just sitting, but then all the fleet are coming up with a puff from behind. So frustrating when it's like this. So you get out a nice lead and then everybody catches you up. Luckily we got to the mark before them. I think it was B. Yeah, it's B. And it's all a bit of a muddle around going there, around there, but we just squeaked through. Roger and Sarah Jane hot on our heels. So we got Andrew Hubble there, and then James and Helen, and then I think, yeah, Alan and Marion. Roger's an expert in these conditions, gradually creeping up on us. Look at the way he tacks, beautifully slowly. Classic. Trying to get the top batten to flick over. Andrew Hubble just catching us up a little bit as well. Oh, Roger's got through us. Again, a lovely slow tack. So we get a little bit of a puff. Managed to get going again. Again, a little bit of a flick to get the top batten flicking across. Very slow. I've cut out lots, as you can imagine. That's Rick and John up ahead of us. They've got round F, making their way down to H. There we are, just coming round F as well. That's Roger and Sarah Jane making their way up to F. H. Get the weight right forward, so both Maggie and I are now sitting on the side deck. I've got an extending tiller extension. I pulled that out to allow me to get forward and still be in control. They're always useful in light wind.
but here we're reducing the drag of the monthly surface.
So just managing to keep some way on here. Creeping up on Rick, and then the wind fills in from behind again. And Roger's taking a line up to the north shore. I think at this point we've got past John and Rick and John. Yeah, there we have. And then the fleet are doing what they did before, coming up with puffs from behind. Rick's, because he was behind us, got the puff first. His momentum is taking him through. The Heron's even going faster than us now. So luckily we've got to be again before the others, just about, and then whoa. Right, so let's try and get up to weather of Rick. Nope, he's not having it. Defending his position very nicely. Okay. Down to A, round A. Now we've got to defend from James and Helen. So we're tacking to cover. I'm not sure it didn't slow us down, but anyway, we're tacking to cover James and Helen. Catching Rick up in the process. James and Helen doing a very good job here. Now with the angle of the line, because we're coming up to the end, James and Helen tacking. We tack not very well. To try to cover a couple more tacks ahead now. So Rick's just coming up to the line to finish.
Well done, Rick.
Yeah, well done, Rick. And we're next. And then James and Helen.
Good race.
So, great fun. Well done.